Oh my god! It's a Twin Blades variant. There's a Maelstrom on the backside. Phantom's picking up more kills, finds Andrew as well. It's a triple. Oh, look at Tahaka. Finds the Abathur top lane 6. Great Ring of Frost connecting onto 4 members. We might have a comeback for the ages. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Will they be able to escape? ETC does fall. What a counter attack by ReGen Red, and he's gonna barely get away with his friggin' teleport ability. Holy shit! That was really spicy. Ladies and gentlemen of the Nexus Gaming Series, welcome to the Heroic Division Grand Finals. I'm your host this evening, Murda, along with my very good friend Ragnarok over here on this side. How's it going there, Rag?
I'm doing just fine, Murda. Super excited to be casting with you once again. This should be an awesome best of 5 between ReGen Black and Texas A&M.
Yeah, 2 squads. I've obviously gotten to cast plenty of ReGen Black, of course, as most of you probably know in chat. They are part of the ReGen organization, which I represent. But also on the other side, Texas A&M. I've been doing some representation of them myself. Been getting to cast them in the Heroes of the Dorm TESPA Collegiate Series that's going on right now. It's been a lot of fun. I'm just waiting on our Texas A&M team to show up here. I guess they were in a game when I sent out that invitation to this lobby, but we do have half of our squads here right now. We're just waiting on everyone else to show up, and we'll be good to go in this match, Rag.
Nice. So actually, while we're waiting for folks to filter in, let's talk a little bit about the picks and bans that happened. So I mentioned already this is a best of 5 series. ReGen Black, in this case, decided to ban out Sky Temple, and Texas A&M banned out Dragonshire. ReGen Black, in this case, was the higher seed coming in, so they had choice of map pick or first pick. They elected the map pick and are taking us to Volskaya Foundry, a map that's known very well for team fights, for rotations, and pushing with that Triglock Protector down those lanes in an effort to take down that core.
Yeah, of course, Volskaya Foundry, at least the Nexus Gaming Series this season, has become more and more of a predominant map that we see in these matches. So many teams love playing it, including Texas A&M. They're a big fan of this map, but it's actually ReGen Black, the team bringing us to this. So a bit odd during the map selection process. Maybe missed out on some scouting there, but it does mean that our first map will be a toss-up, because I think both teams really have the comfortability on this map to pull out a win here.
Yeah, I've definitely seen ReGen Black run a clinic on this map with heroes like, let's see, we are waiting and double checking for ReGen Black. So just a second, folks. I have seen them, as I was mentioning, with that Johanna and other folks, just clinic, run a clinic on this map and just show enemy teams what item control can be all about. So it looks like, Murda, are we ready to get started?
It looks like Camille was just asking to make sure that Mal'Ganis was banned. I believe, yeah, Mal'Ganis is banned, yes. I believe Brightwing is banned on this and D-Shire. There is a bug currently right now with some weird stuff going on with the vehicle control. So Brightwing will be banned on this first map here, Volskaya Foundry. And other than that, I think we're good to go. Ready then?
Just one final ready check left to go, and we will get into this.
I do want to say a big shout out to those of you already in chat. I do understand the HGC finals opening week is going on. I too have been tuning in, of course, but I mean, this is the last match of NGS Season 5, and then we're going to take a short break, resume back up in February for Season 6, so I am very proud and honored to be bringing you this last match of the season. I know Rag's equally as excited as I am for this one.
Absolutely. Anytime I get to co-cast with you, Murda, it's an absolute pleasure, and what better place to do it than the Grand Finals, after these teams have been working super hard to make it this far.
Still waiting to get our final ready check here in chat. Don't really know what's holding them up, but, they just want to make sure they're going to go. Buns finally dropping down the R. We're going to jump in to game number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Volskaya Foundry.
Volskaya Foundry indeed, and as we mentioned before, this map focuses largely on team fights and zone control for that Triglav Protector. The current meta, at least at the higher echelons, is, I'd say, relatively well defined for tanks and support players. We most often see heroes like Diablo and Muradin getting prioritized for their tankiness, and on the support side we do see Whitemane Tyrande sort of at the top with Deckard close up there. So I do expect picks and bans centered around those in the 1 and the 1-2 as we start off this game number 1 in this best of 5.
Yeah, my big concern here on Volskaya Foundry are these supports that are available. Whitemane being so dominant right now, Tyrande as well, a support that you didn't really see too much of at the start of Season 5, but now all the way here at the end of this season, Tyrande being one of the #1 supports in the game, and Rag, yourself as a support specialist, what are your thoughts on supports, not only here on Volskaya Foundry, but throughout this best of 5 series tonight?
I do think that if you want to get those S tier level supports, you are going to have to either pick them or deny them from the enemy team through those picks and bans prior to that second ban phase. As I mentioned before, Whitemane, Tyrande, Deckard tend to be near the top. Everything else tends to kind of fall down to the wayside. It doesn't mean that the other supports aren't meaningful, but they're just not as impactful. They don't give the zone control and the burst denial that the Whitemane can give you, for example, or even the shield and the semi-cleanse that the Tyrande can give you at level 1. So I do think that I do expect at least one of the teams to pick their support nice and early on, just because again, that meta is kind of well defined and there are clear contenders at the top there for that list.
Absolutely. So let's recap the ban so far. First, Texas A&M took away the Yorel, followed by a ReGen Black ban on Diablo. Now we see Genji, the second ban for Texas A&M, which is going to take away a lot of the dive. Diablo, Genji, 2 very dive-centric heroes here in these drafts. Maiev as well here, another hero that can get right on top of teams and really swing the tide of a fight. So a lot of, in my opinion, team fight control was the theme here during these bans taken away, and it's leaving some of those supports open. Some of those other S-tier heroes are still out there. Anything you're looking for in this first pick?
Yeah, I was going to say either Whitemane or Azmodan are still up, and it doesn't surprise me here. I know Gaspy plays a ridiculous Whitemane, so not too surprising to see her in that first pick. She's still super powerful, does get her cleanse at level 7. Her build is generally well defined. We'll talk about that a little later. In the 1-2 here, Azmodan's still available and a menace in that 4-man. Rainer's still up. We do see Deckard still up as well. Let's see what ReGen Black decides to go into.
And they're going to take that Tyrande that we talked about and pairing it up with a Nubrek, a tank that I've seen Camille playing during some of his Hero League matches, and he's an absolute menace on this hero, a Nubrek. So kind of excited to see how they want to pull that out. I know there's a lot of crowd control between these two heroes. Tyrande, great follow-up stun, and Anubarak with his own 1-2 punch stun. This should be a lot of lockdown for ReGen Black, but now seeing Rainer and Blaze come out, Mizono hopping on his specialty hero, Blaze, and the way he can play this bunker, I'm kind of excited to see how this is going to unfold.
Absolutely, and as kind of predicted, Murder, we do see that both teams did in fact pick those support players, right, in their prior to that second ban phase. So not too surprising there. I agree with you completely regarding the Anubarak and Tyrande control. Rainer, however, will be able to put a lot of damage out onto the enemy team, and we'll see if the Tyrande will be able to keep up with it. Muradin is the first ban on the side of ReGen Black, denying Texas A&M that very powerful tank pick.
Yep, Muradin taken away, now Hanzo taken away, and both these teams have a player. ReGen Black has Penguin, and on the side of Texas A&M, it's Edgardo GL that play this Hanzo so well. So I know we're going to get to see it eventually, but it's not going to be here on Volskaya Foundry. We'll have to wait until later on. Now we're going to see a Buns Sonya and Jaina picked up, and this might be a hero that Penguin plays. It could be Temp. We have Templart subbing in for Gofty today on the side of ReGen Black. As you guys know in chat, Gofty has been suspended for these finals, and their substitute player today will be Templart. So we're trying to figure out where he's going to play. Ragnarok and I are both good friends of him, so we know he's a tank player, but apparently he's going to be playing some DPS tonight.
Monka S indeed, if he's on that Jaina. I still have faith in him. We do see the Johanna and Greymane as the follow-up. That does fill in that wave clear gap that I was seeing for Texas A&M. Johanna being an excellent tank to just rally up that wave, and just Greymane being great for that wave clear and also for the camp clear, as item control on this map is important. And to round out the comp here, I think another frontliner might be nice, maybe a Thrall or an additional something to follow up with that Jaina. Let's see what ReGen Black picks. A Zeratul.
It's gonna be a Zeratul.
It's gonna be a Templar Zeratul, I bet you.
All right, so Void Prison, Ring of Frost potential here. You could even throw a leap from Sonya if you want to be really crazy, but I'm scared because I know that Mizono playing this Blaze, his bunker play is bar none, top tier all the time. So I'm expecting a lot of focus for Texas A&M. A lot of their focus is going to be on how well Mizono can drop those bunkers to save his team from some of this damage. It's actually going to be Templar playing a Nubarak. So it's going to be Camille switching over to the DPS role tonight. They ended up going with what I thought they probably should have done to begin with, but Camille dropping back from his tank role, going to make room for the substitute Templar on a Nubarak. And, you know, this is anyone's series. I'm really excited for both these squads. Huge fans of both these teams. But, Reg, what do you think about game number 1? Which draft's looking better for you?
I like both of the drafts, to be honest. I think we won't really be able to tell how they're going to do until the mid to late game. They both have their own form of control. I do like the control on the stuns capability and blow up on the side of ReGen Black, especially in the early game. So I think as long as Texas A&M respects that blow up potential and the combo potential, and even the poke through the Jaina and Zeratul, they should be fine. But let's get into game number 1. Murder, do you want to start with the intros?
Oh, I most certainly will. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Heroic Division Grand Finals. This is map number 1, Volskaya Foundry, and on the left-hand side, we got ReGen Black. Buns playing the Sonya, Gaspy on Tyrande today. Templar the substitute, he's on a Nubarak. Jaina will be played by Penguin for the win. And rounding it out, the Grandmaster himself, Camille on the Zeratul.
On the right-hand side, we have the red team, Texas A&M, with Johanna being played by Hello, Rainer played by Sparky, Mizono on that Blaze, Space Bacon playing the white main, and Edgardo GL on the gray main.
Yeah, Edgardo's still hanging out in base, rocking his Enforcer skin there. He's going to show up a little late, but overall, I think the theme here is how well that ReGen Black can use this sort of like dive-centric Zeratul, Sonya, a Nubarak even with the burrow in, how well they can play that. And will Johanna and Blaze be enough of a front line for Texas A&M to defend against this sort of attack that ReGen Black is going to be trying to put out? I know they have a little bit of a limited time working together recently. Templar, of course, a last-minute substitute today, as it was going to be Corgi Booty, and haven't had any time to practice with him. So we'll see what happens here, Rag. But anything else you see in these two lineups that you're going to be looking for?
I think that it's going to really come down to team fights. The Sonya Blaze in the bot lane seems like an overall pretty fair matchup. Blaze, if played correctly, can take that, but we do see here on the right-hand side, Texas A&M prioritizing that camp just a little bit ahead of ReGen Black. However, we do see the counter camp taken in the top lane as ReGen Black does prioritize that support camp. So good on them in seeing that, and it looks like they are in fact rotating down to their own turret camp.
Yeah, so they go ahead and take away the biotic emitter, but now Texas A&M aware that the only camp left on the map is this other fortification camp. So Templar, he was in a terrible spot, had to use his burrow over the wall back to mid base. Now Camille, the only one in here. Temp gonna come around the side. Edgardo GL, he's staying in deep on this, and Camille might try to make him pay a lot of damage coming out. Space Bacon's low on that white main on the backside. Will he fall first? No, it'll be Camille down first, but it will be an exchange 1-for-1 in this fight so far.
Sonya spinning to winning on the entire team, going into that team fight at 33% health, but literally the red team Texas A&M could do nothing against them. Overall, a 1-for-3 trade as ReGen Black takes that fight favorably and ends up getting that turret.
They get their turret. They get a triple kill. It's 3-1, excuse me, in favor of ReGen Black so far in this matchup. Let's show you those level 4 talents on your screen right now. We do have the Inquisition build from White Mane, so we'll see if she'll be able to sustain through those fights. Of course, with Clemency at level 1, she gets a little bit of that out-of-combat healing, Rag. But overall, the only hero in here we haven't seen too much of recently, and I think you saw a lot of it show up over the past couple days in the HGC finals, is Anubarak. I think this hero has a potential to make a resurgence in the meta, and we'll find out tonight if Templar playing this hero is actually going to pay off.
That's absolutely right, and I think the idea behind that Anubarak early pick, other than, you know, the banning it out later on, as we actually, 1 second here, we do see an engage onto that Johanna, but she does pop unstoppable. Templar is diving in once again with that burrow charge, but the teams do reset here. What I was saying here was that the Anubarak is great into the backline. White Mane pressuring her, especially late into the game, will force her to use those desperate pleas and just drain her of her mana. So I do like the pick there, as long as they can sustain through the auto attacks of that Rainer.
Templar going to go ahead and give up control of this point as they're waiting to get their level 7 talents or ReGen Black, and there they are clicking in. I'll throw them up on your screen so you can see them before this fight breaks out. But ReGen Black now going to engage up a talent here and looking to get some damage onto Space Bacon. He's very low. Sonya spinning, and White Mane with barely any health will survive, and down for the second time in this game is Zeratul. A fantastic counter kill by Texas A&M, keeping themselves alive in this fight, and quite literally keeping themselves alive with Space Bacon. I don't know how he survived that fight, Rag.
That is what White Mane does best. Just as long as she keeps doing damage, her auto attacks also count towards that desperation as well. So well done there by Space Bacon, weaving in those autos and just keeping the team alive enough. I think ReGen Black, with just a little bit more focus there, could have turned that fight. It did seem that this team was split. We do see Texas A&M here going to their turret camp as ReGen begins to engage back on the point.
Each team's holding one of these turrets. They're both down on the ground. Is Johanna very low? Will Hello survive? No, he will not. 2 turrets, though, for Texas A&M. Ripping through the health bar. Zeratul down for the 3rd time in this match. Bun's very low. Has to spin away. 200 health will survive for now. Templar with the burrow back, almost dying himself. Ends up being another 1-for-1, but early storyline is Camille down 3 times thus far in this match, Rag.
We have to be very careful here on both sides regarding those engages. So far, it's been pretty evenly split in terms of these team fights. Both teams need to focus just a little bit more. We do see ReGen here going for that turret camp, which I think will help turn that fight. A cleanse being used there, I think accidentally, by the White Mane. So that will be up in time for this re-engage, as we do see all teams reposturing back for this point.
Coming back in, Camille, he's not done playing aggressive. Great stun on that jet propulsion, and once again, Johanna in trouble. She's down. Penguin on the top side, he's very low, but Sparky not quite in range to get the finishing damage. Mizono, he's backing up by the wall, and this should be the first Triglav protector of the game, going over to ReGen Black as Texas A&M backs up behind their wall, uses their well taps, don't have a Johanna for a few moments, and now have to defend against this Triglav, Rag.
I love the focus there by ReGen Black, punishing the Johanna, just simply not allowing her to cast that unstoppable. It was stun after stun after stun by our blue team, leading them to that victory and an early level 10.
So they're going to go ahead and get that wall at mid, rotate up top. In chase is Johanna. Coming around the safe side is Sparky, Agardo, GL, and Space Bacon. But Triglav Protector still 40% health, 30 seconds remaining on the timer. They're trying to get this second wall down. They have their level 10 talents. It's going to be the Ring of Frost Void Prison. We'll see if they can get the combo, Rag.
I think they should be able to. As long as Camille on that Zeratul is postured correctly and doesn't get revealed, he should have an easy enough time looking for that flank. We do see the Sonya pushing in very hard to that bot lane, the wave running out there, so we need to be a little bit careful, but Bun showing mastery there into that Blaze as we do see the Triglav Protector go down. Excellent value here by ReGen Black, getting that entire mid wall and the top wall in preparation for the next Triglav Protector.
Biotic Emitter available for just a few moments before Texas A&M would have their level 10 talents, and it's going to be ReGen Black making a quick jump on top of it. Should be Templar grabbing that Biotic Emitter. No, it'll actually be Zeratul here. But here are the level 10s. Divine Aegis, we have the Blessed Shield. Hyperion, go for the throat and bunker. Johanna caught out a bit there, but has Iron Skin. She's safe. Turret on the bottom side, just grabbed by Sparky. Here comes a follow-up stun from Tyrande. Mizono very low, hops inside of the Void Prison. Ring of Frost goes down, but not canceled early enough was that Void Prison. Finally, we see the Cocoon come out on White Mane as the kills are coming in for ReGen. Black trying now to finish off Johanna, not able to. Space Bacon, he's trying to get away with his life. Running through the top side, but there's Sonya with a spear. Picking up the triple kill is ReGen Black.
An absolute slaughter murder on that point. So many things went wrong in such little time. I think the White Mane Divine Aegis was just a little bit lower. That really needed to have been popped out before that Void Prison engaged. The Ring of Frost landed on 3 people at once, blowing up the team and setting up the slows that allowed for the follow-up kills.
I couldn't figure out if the Void Prison was canceled in time for the Ring of Frost or not. It appeared to me that it wasn't. But either way,
it did hit at least one member in the back because they did get blown up by it, as far as I noticed.
All right, so either way, it is now 8-4 in kills right now. 4 of them for Penguin for the win on that Jaina. He hasn't fallen yet. The only hero to die for ReGen Black thus far, with 4 deaths, is Camille on that Zeratul. But I mean, this is a hero that's going to get stronger as the game goes on. Once 16 clicks in for ReGen Black, he will be a monster in some of these fights. But right now it is level 13 talents are secured for ReGen Black. They have control, a 2-level lead as we speak in this game. And with only a minute left on that support camp, it should possibly be available before control point B is ready to go up top.
Definitely, and I think as long as Texas A&M respects the positioning, because right now they don't know where ReGen Black are on the map. We do see the Johanna posturing in that mid lane, making sure to get that soak, but Templar right now positioning a little bit aggressively as ReGen Black begins to push into that top lane, maybe looking for that well prior to this Triglav spawn in that top lane.
There is a little bit of a push going here from ReGen Black. They have this level lead, and they have these siege robots pushing the top lane. I would love to see them try to focus down that well, but it looks like it should be able to survive just barely. Oh no, not like this. Texas A&M does lose that well on the final shot of that mercenary that was running that top lane. So that's actually pretty big, as ReGen Black should have a solid advantage going into this control point B with the Talontier advantage for just a few more moments, but more so is that well advantage here in this top lane.
We do also see the Blaze in that bot lane, staying there to soak the team level 13. He will be just a little bit late. We do see Penguin casting a slow with a Ice Lance on that Jaina, actually about 5,000 damage away from that Frostbite shield, which will be so important. Both teams are even talent tiers now, and we do see on our minimap that Texas A&M is rotating to the top here, as ReGen might be posturing for that support camp. Let's see.
Yeah, they're looking for it. They have a lot of time advantage on control point B, currently sitting at 72%. Camille in stealth, just waiting out there as long as he can, but finally Johanna is going to scout him out. He's going to back up just a bit. We'll see what ReGen Black wants to do. They have an opportunity to back up, play this slow, go for that biotic emitter, but right now it's going to be Raynor trying to push in with his Hyperion, putting a lot of damage down before he can drop the turret. Zeratul dead once again. There's the Ring of Frost, getting some damage out, but it's way too much. Sparky finding a big kill. White Mane able to support the team all the way back up. It's a double kill for Texas A&M.
The bunker was the real MVP of that team fight. That bunker allowed 3 people to hide in, deny the Ring of Frost damage. And as I was mentioning before, the Zeratul really only gets value as long as the positioning is correct. I think he definitely overstayed his welcome there. The VP was in fact up, but without the proper grouping of Texas A&M, they were just denied that team fight. But thankfully, it does look like ReGen Black will have just enough time to get back prior to the Triglav being taken. So will they take advantage of this, or will they let that Triglav go over to Texas A&M?
We're about to find out. All the heroes from ReGen Black making their way up, not quite level 16. They're a half level away, but with 83% on that channel, Templar has to move on in, playing that Anubarak. Hello up front, he has the biotic emitter. That was the item picked up during those deaths. Anub looking for a charge in, but totally whiffing. And now this means Texas A&M, they can back up, but look at that Cocoon overlapping with the VP. They're not going to get the damage out, or are they? Sparky does fall, but during that Void Prison, no one from ReGen Black was able to stand on top of Control Point B, so it's a big swing over until this Ring of Frost connects onto Blaze. He's low, very low. Greymane falls inside the bunkers. Blaze, he's still surviving. Bun spinning. Blizzard once again on top. It's a mega kill for ReGen Black, and the robot sits unattended. It's just gonna get to expire as ReGen Black pushes the top lane out, Reg.
I don't think I've ever seen a 5-man wipe on a Triglav Protector in my life playing this game. That is insane. We saw there that Texas A&M was trying so hard to get into that Triglav, but it was stun after stun after stun. Between the Anubarak, between the Tyrande, and between that spear of the Sonya, they just prevented that. And unfortunately for Texas A&M, that is a wasted Triglav, and it does give ReGen Black a 2.5 level lead.
See if Penguin wants to go up here and finish it off. Looks like that is exactly what they're going to do. Camille's going to help scout it on Zeratul. But still 20 seconds remaining. You know what? I kind of like them leaving it there because it allows them to set up where they want for the camps that are going to spawn right after it dies. We'll see what kind of positioning ReGen Black wants to put out here. Looks like Sonya going to head on over to the fortification camp. Rest of the team on their way as well.
Once again, that team fight could have gone either way. We do see the Triglav Protector expiring there as ReGen Black is pretty much 2 levels ahead here. They might be able to reach level 20 if they soak. If not, they'll get pretty close to it. We'll see how they go, but we do see both teams taking those siege camps, the fortification camps, those turrets, as the siege camp is in fact now being taken by Texas A&M, although Camille is in position there. The Void Prison is up, and so is everything else. They do need to be a little bit careful here.
Yeah, both teams on those even talents. Camille was maybe thinking about trying to get in there, but his team just wasn't close enough. They do have all their heroics back online, both teams, with all 5 of their heroes ready to go. Support camp spawning. See if ReGen Black wants to make a play here, but up top right now, this looks like Camille wants to take this. Yeah, he pops out his stealth. He's looking to get damage on top of Greymane, but now Hello here. He's doing a great job interrupting all that damage coming out, and with the Hyperion, ReGen Black are going to go ahead and just move out of the way, keeping a lot of their heroics online. Sonya popped hers down on the bottom. Berserk was popped by Sonya. Now she's pretty far away. Not going to be able to get here in time, and with Blaze already here, this is a 4v5. In favor of Texas A&M. Megara GL jumping on that backside. Void Prison has to be dropped by Zeratul, still surviving. Templar on the point, trying to make sure that ReGen Black can get this. And Garlo GL looking for kills, but not finding it yet. Topside is Whitemane down. Ring of Frost coming out, but not finding the kills until they finally start flowing in. And with that, it will be a mega kill. Sparky taken down. Gaspy on his way out, but another huge play by ReGen Black.
The pressure on the Whitemane on that backline was just too much for the team to handle. Greymane in that backline of ReGen Black was trying so hard to carry, but there were so many jukes and sidesteps for those skill shots. Ring of Frost at the very end there, not getting a whole lot of value, pretty much whiffed on the bunker. I think that could have been a little bit earlier and could have netted the team 5-0, but overall, ReGen Black capitalizing on the death timers and taking that mid keep. The team up now 3 full levels, taking this bot wave, and due to the advantage of that Sonya into the Blaze, we see no well, no wall, and no 4 already in that bot lane, which is where the next Triglav will spawn.
Huge structural advantage right now for ReGen Black. They have a 3-level lead. It's 20-17, so they're going to go ahead and just take away this fortification camp. It's wide open right now. Start setting up for control point C. This next Triglav Protector, if they are to get it, should be enough to win the game. Up top right now, I want to show you this. It's Texas A&M pushing the top lane, trying to get all the structural damage they can find, because that's the big difference right now in the XP for these teams. And they're trying to get what they can up top, but ReGen Black seeing that say, okay, you go top, we go bottom. We have this Anubarak, and that means we can drop beetles and siege down on these turrets whenever we want. They get another turret down. Might even be able to get that second one there with those minions. Not quite. But control point C active. On the point is Gaspy playing Tyrande. He's going to switch spots with Camille as the rest of ReGen Black is heading over to their second fortification camp of this phase.
We do have to be very careful here. Texas A&M is between a rock and a hard place. They are looking to invade here. Buns being caught out a little out of position though, but that stun missing and forcing the trade out for that Blaze a little bit early in my opinion. That won't be up in time for this team fight. How does Texas A&M respond? They aren't level 20 yet, and we do see two turrets on the side of ReGen Black.
And also on the side of ReGen Black in that mid lane are two catapults, which might need to be responded to soon. There is the Void Prison onto Ring of Frost coming down, that time connecting, trying to finish off Whitemane, but Divine Aegis has been popped and she's surviving for now, but not all the way. Bunker on the bottom side from Mizono. He's now trying to get away. Jet Propulsion on two. Space Bacon still alive, but Nubrak in chase with the Blizzard. Space Bacon goes down. Look at Camille get this damage out on Sparky, and hello, Johanna, the only one still here, and it's another mega kill for ReGen Black with the Triglav Protector grabbed. They don't even need it. They're marching mid lane. 3 catapults here. This should be GG game number 1, Reg.
I think so, and once again, the Void Prison actually setting up that entire last team fight, going on to 2 members, and you're so right. Ring of Frost pretty much instantly deleted 2 of the members on Texas A&M, and with that being said, no need for that Triglav Protector with the Sonya on that core. Game number 1 does in fact go over to ReGen Black.
All right, ladies and gents, that was game number 1. We're going to try to run through these quickly as we do have someone on the side of Texas A&M that has to go exactly at 7 o'clock Pacific. So I'm going to quickly show you these stats here. I'll switch you over to the talents just in case you wanted to see what occurred there during those picks. But we're going to take a short 3-minute break, be back for game number 2 of this best of 5 set between ReGen Black and Texas A&M. All right, ladies and gents, we are back a bit early. Teams are ready to go. Map number 2 is going to be everyone's favorite map.
Towers of Doom.
Towers of Doom.
Towers of Doom, a map where literally anything can happen. I've seen teams come back from 1 point and take this map. If you're just joining us, this is the Heroic Division Grand Finals of the Nexus Gaming Series between ReGen Black, who is currently up 1-0 against Texas A&M.
And make sure you stay tuned. After this map, during our break, we're going to be going over the Season 5 Heroic Division All-Stars. So if you're a fan or a participant or whatever of the Heroic Division, make sure you're here in between these two maps here because we're going to be honoring our All-Stars for Season 5.
Nice. So as we get into these bans, we do see the white main being the first ban on the side of Texas A&M, not wanting to deal with that, followed up by Maev, a hero that's known to dive those backlines and to just cause so much chaos through that Warden's Cage. And actually, most recently, we are seeing the containment disc being taken more often than not.
Yeah, you saw how much value just in that last game that the Cocoon got from a Nubrak shutting down White Main, which really is one of the only solutions to breaking through some of that supporting she can do. Containment disc, like you're mentioning, so much more time. We're seeing it more often than not now, more times than sometimes the Warden's Cage even. So Maev taken away. That is the second time today ReGen Black banned it out, but here we go, a respect ban on that Zeratul, even though they're able to take down Camille a few times in that match.
A few times? I think he was the only one that died. I don't remember. I'm not entirely sure, but we do see the Diablo being banned out and a snap pick by Texas A&M on that Abathur. Not too surprising. This is one of his best maps, going with that Halloween skin. Fantastic to see. How does ReGen respond? The Azmodan is still a force to be reckoned with on this particular map and on most maps that involve sieging potential and rotations like this one. With 10 seconds left, what do they decide to go into?
It's take away the Genji, although we did see the Greymane last game. I'm assuming he might be a hero they want to play again, but I talked about Hanzo during draft number 1. Both of these teams have a player that love the hero, and this is our first look, a double Shimada play from ReGen Black, and Penguin, he's going to be playing the Hanzo here.
Not often that we see double Shimada anymore, especially in the 1-2, just because they are super squishy. If you have something that can get to that back line, then they can, in fact, go down. How does Texas A&M respond? The Murden, not too surprising, and the Samuro in the 2-3. Okay, things just got really interesting.
So I think this is a must ban now on Deckard Cain. You have to take that away, Rag. Once he hits level 13, it's over, right? With the Samuro? Yeah,
you getting that Ancient Blessings on Samuro. Plus, don't forget the Abathur clone, right? You get 6 clones or 6 illusions altogether with the Samuro. Double it, and it just becomes an absolute nightmare. No ban on the side of ReGen Black. Not sure what's going on there. You hate to see it, but the Arthas being the immediate choice for Texas A&M. Not too surprising into a Samuro Murden, as the Arthas can, in fact, counter, in a lot of ways, the Samuro's push and his ability to dive into that backline.
Yeah, I think super smart to take that Arthas away. But it does leave open. We saw game number 1, the Anubrak come out. Do they want to play that again? I don't know if they'll get quite as much value here. I mean, this could be a solo support Abathur type game. So instead, it's going to be Yarel and Johanna, the one trying to attempt to shut down the Samuro.
I do like that choice. That is an incredibly beefy front line that doesn't really succumb to some of the pressure. I do expect to maybe see a Tychus in terms of a damage dealer to maybe start melting down that front line. We'll see what they decide to go with here, as 5 seconds are left for those last 2 picks. The support, we'll see if they go supportless, as you mentioned, Murda. They end up going with, I want some cheese, man.
Greymane Li Ming will be a solo support Abathur though, Reg.
No cheese, unfortunately, but we do notice that the Abathur has amazing clone targets, right? A reset comp with that Li Ming and potentially a go for the throat accomplishes that same sort of goal that you're looking for with the Tychus.
I'm fully expecting, actually, I'm expecting the Cursed Bullet combo with Li Ming. That's my guess here.
Yep, that makes sense. And we actually see a Stukov here as the last pick for Gatsby. Interesting. You rarely kind of see him in the current meta. Kind of surprising with the Deckard still up, but we'll see how it plays out.
I can't believe Decker Kane made it through, and I'm really surprised that Texas A&M didn't want to go for it to get that Ancient Blessings, but they're gonna throw it all in, a la Heroes Hearth right here, and just go with the solo support Abathur. We've been seeing it in the pros, but can we see Texas A&M, a team worthy of their standing here in Nexus Gaming Series, and so far so good in the TESPA Collegiate Series as well? Are they going to be able to pull it off here in these Heroic Division Grand Finals? Time will tell.
I sure hope so, and the burden of execution is definitely on Space Bacon. I think the Abathur comp as the only support is high execution for sure, but if performed well, and if that Samuro does apply that split pressure, and he and actually the Gray Main are both camp takers as well, so as long as pressure exists on the map, then I think Texas A&M has a really great shot.
All right, so here we go. Game number 2. It's going to be Towers of Doom. And on the left-hand side, it's ReGen Black. Templar, the sub. He's on Johanna. Camille going to be playing the Genji. Gaspion Stukov. Admiral Stukov. Hanzo going to be played by Penguin FTW. And rounding out the solo laner on Urel, it's Buns.
On the right-hand side, we have Texas A&M all stacked together, making it damn near impossible to read their names. So we have Space Bacon doing circles on that Abathur. We have Hello on the Muradin, Sparky playing that Li Ming, and Gardo GL playing the Greymane, and Mizono playing the Samurai.
Mizono on Samuro. I don't know if I've seen him pull this hero out. Maybe they just been waiting for the right moment, and the grand finals is that moment to pull out a composition such as this. A very high execution, you know, burden of responsibility of getting damage out and surviving, all on Space Bacon playing that Abathur. They're gonna have to wait till level 10. As you see, look at all this. Muradin, he can't even survive. He has to go all the way back there, but they have to wait for level 10. They can't be taking fights. And these early altars that are going to be spawning, will they go in favor of ReGen Black? And will that be too much to come back from if you're Texas A&M?
It's super hard just because there's so much kill pressure. We do see that Muradin escaping just with a little bit there. The silence being perfect. Just taking out that Muradin, and first blood goes out to ReGen Black.
Great silence there by Gaspy. He loves this Stukov. Of course, later on with the virulent reaction, we're going to see some big plays being made. But all you guys in chat, I want to ask you guys who you think is going to win this matchup, who you think's going to win the set. If you guys are here rooting for Texas A&M, let me hear it. Hashtag TAMU in chat. If your vote is for ReGen Black, hashtag RG in chat. Having a lot of fun here with my good pal Ragnarok getting to cast this matchup, and so far we've had some pretty exciting fights break loose as we see another one here on top of the Sappers on the side of Texas A&M. Edgardo, he's in a weird spot and holding the points. Johanna, Templar's there, and Genji, he's gonna walk right in. Li Ming, great spot for Sparky, gonna finish off the deal on Johanna, but not before ReGen Black takes away his camp, and Camille says, that enough is enough, Muradin. You're not getting away from me. I am Genji Shimada, you shall die. But this could be the end for Gaspia as well, Rag.
I do appreciate the effective suicide by that Johanna on the point, just kind of staying resilient and allowing the rest of the team to take that fight. And ReGen does in fact take those sappers as they begin to push in the bot lane. I do like the counter kill there by ReGen Black, taking out the... Actually, who was it that fell? It was the Greymane, I believe, correct?
Yeah, yep. It was the Greymane at the start of that fight, the Muradin towards the end of it. Greymane, you see, already back. He's very low right now. I don't think he has a well, and with these altars spawning in 22 seconds, there goes a Hearth from Agardo GL. Will he make it back in time? But he desperately needs that mana. Let's peek on what's been going on up top. It looks like Urel dominating the lane, got the wall down, half of a tower. Buns staying sturdy as one of the strongest solo laners here in the Heroic Division throughout the season. Triple altar phase, as you know, the first one is here. Space Bacon on Abathur looking at the top right side. But here comes Urel, going to try to disrupt it, and will. Space Bacon have to back up now. Mizono here on the Samuro. Bottom side channel by ReGen Black, and now they have a chance to get all three of these altars if Mizono doesn't get this, but no, not enough time. Mizono will get the channel off, and it will be 2-1 in favor of ReGen Black in those altar channels.
That was incredible zoning done on that bottom altar by Templar. And the interesting thing about both of these comps is that the kill pressure does exist on both sides. I do just think that ReGen Black, with the Genji being able to dive into the backline, is executing their comp just a little bit better. We do see that the Soak is relatively even for the most part. I think the game is still too early to tell to see, as we do see an engage there happening on the Muradin, but he does in fact get out just in the nick of time.
Yeah, hello, he'll be able to survive. He has that second wind that'll start clicking in as he's safe, not taking any damage. Mizono here on Samuro, but he's going to instantly just swap into his triple form there and run back up to the top to deal with Yorel, who has been dominating the lane throughout the match. And you're going to have to spend a lot of time babysitting up there as well, because they can't afford to lose any more structures, because the XP differential is going to start leaning in the favor of ReGen Black as they get another Sapper camp in this bottom lane. And with the one spawning on the opposite side, on the side of Texas A&M, ReGen Black might want to make a move in here, as they know they still have this 4v5 advantage with Abathur not at level 10 yet.
Absolutely. That level 7 advantage actually not existing anymore. We do see the Greymane taking a lot of damage. Yorel just body blocking him, and with that last hit, that Greymane does in fact go down, as we do see ReGen Black beginning to push into this fortification, this Sapper camp in the bot lane. That orb missing ever so slightly, and it does look like the Muradin will try to push in. He has to be a little bit careful though. It is a 1v4. Unstoppable popped out there just to make sure that the Sappers are in fact taken, and with that we see 6 Sappers in that bot lane get pushed in. Oh, the Muradin looks like he did take 2 of them, or is trying to kill them. But yeah,
Templar's here distracting, saying, hey, we want these Sappers through. Let's not give it to them for free. One of them is going to make its way into the lane, but Leeming there to handle it. Alter being channeled. Here comes Mizono on Samuro. Yorel also showing up here. Clones are down from Samuro, so we'll have to wait for that cooldown to come back before they can re-engage. Gatsby's going to have a little bit of space, start up this channel, and ReGen Black secures themselves their 3rd altar of the game, taking an 8-shot advantage here on Towers of Doom.
Penguin on this Hanzo is an absolute menace. And to your point regarding the siege murder, we do see the Mule taken on the Abathur. Not too surprising here, trying to get that the bell tower in that bot lane back up to snuff. So the Mule was in fact taken down. It is a 60-second cooldown. So that will be up and it will top them off. So ReGen Black really does need to look for building kills, for taking the buildings down in order to be successful.
Here's an engagement from Hello. He sees that Johanna low health. Templar not gonna have the backup. Pops Iron Skin just as a shield to make sure he doesn't take any burst damage from the Leeming or the Greymane. And all the while up top, T-Tor's on that one. It's Mizono picking up a kill on Bun. Samuro taking out Yorel. That's huge, and now gives them that slight XP advantage and a little bit of push power in this top lane, Rag.
Samuro with an Abathur hat is terrifying, and we do see as a result of that, the entire top wall does in fact go down. That does give the experience advantage over to Texas A&M, as they will be the first ones to reach level 10.
Yeah, it should be close, at least before this next Shrine phase. Both these teams should have their heroic talents. But what a play by Mizono, really setting them up for success. Getting that top lane down that far. Of course, he got the Sappers that were up there as well to help. And on the bottom side, the rest of his team working on the Sappers on the side of ReGen Black. They're stolen away. It's exactly what ReGen Black have been trying to do all game. And now Texas A&M flipping the script a bit. Level 10s now for both teams are online. It's going to be the Wave of Force from Leeming, going to try to set some stuff up. Ultimate Evolution, of course, from Abathur, and now they're really ready to go. Texas A&M finally are able to bring a 5v5 fight in one of these if they want to, Reg.
We do see both teams begin to posture in the spot lane. Camille on that Genji diving on the Leeming. Double Greymane actually being the choice here. Gatsby gets absolutely blown up by 2 dives on those double Greymanes. Samuro surviving with 100 life points, but teams trading back and forth right now. 1 for 2 in favor of Texas A&M as the clone does in fact go down. But with 3 team members here, the Samuro barely surviving. Another switch happening. Penguin finding the right Samuro to take down. ReGen Black turning this fight as Muradin continues to take damage. Will the Hanzo get blown up? No, barely escapes, but the Muradin is not long for this world, getting greedy with the dive there, and he goes down too.
Oh, a little greedy. I mean, Penguin looked like he was just hanging there, ready to die. But he had the natural agility over the wall, and there was just enough space created to survive that one. Losing Gatsby so early in the fight, ReGen Black really was up against the wall there, but the Dragon Blade from Genji, so strong, did so much damage to all these heroes on the side of Texas A&M. They don't have a support with Abathur in the clone form. So it's permanent damage, and there's really no way to heal it up. And once ReGen committed to the fight, you saw what happened, and it really swung in their favor towards the end of it, Rag.
Absolutely. I think both teams were incredibly resilient there. There was a lot of focus, but like you said, that Dragon Blade decimating the opposition. We did in fact see just now the Sapper camp taken by Texas A&M as that begins to push in the bot lane. Both teams dead even on experience. In that top lane, once again, we do see Yrel and Samuro going at it.
Yeah, except this time Genji's here. Camille trying to finish off Samuro. 70 health. See ya later. Camp stolen. Space Bacon. He popped a clone up here. That's a clone Samuro. Does Cam realize it? Will he get in here to help keep Yrel alive? She's got the Divine. There she goes. Archer Defender alive, and Buns will survive it with 200 health. Now popping his Hearth. Sapper camp taken away, but here's the mule. Is it enough? No, not quite.
I would have died on the spot had that been enough. In fact, there was a toxic nest in that bush as well that could have taken the kill. We do see the Muradin here with the Li Ming posturing, but no, that Sapper camp does in fact go over to the side. The Blessed Shield landing on that Li Ming, and Templar making such a play there with now the Greymane getting pressured by the Genji, the arrow missing, and the Abathur netting that kill. One more hit. No, it's not enough. The Greymane lives to see another day.
Edgardo GL with a big kill there, but ReGen Black with the advantage on the map right now. That clone's still not available. They're going to secure themselves 2 more altars, now giving them a 20-point lead on these cores. Virulent Reaction locking in Muradin. That was his leap. He does not have Dwarf Toss available. 600 health left. Can Penguin finish the deal here on Hello? Yes, he can. A huge kill there for ReGen Black as they're trying to secure this bottom bell tower, and they will get it. Now have structural advantage. Still pushing. Samuro dies to the boss. No one even knew he was there, but he's down, and the Headless Horseman secures his first kill of the game.
Boss MVP forehead indeed, as we do see ReGen Black taking control of that bot lane. And folks who may not be playing this map a whole lot, that bot lane is in fact the most important on this map. Controlling that and the 2 bell towers down there allow you to keep continuous pressure throughout the entire game, as we do see these sappers show up for the side of Texas A&M.
So, Reg, it is Halloween right now. I know there's a special brawl right now on this map. Does the Headless Horseman have a bit of a buff going on right now? That looked awesome.
I think he does, but we do see a team fight breaking out here. Gatsby getting dove on by that Greymane. Go for the throw, securing that kill. Camille trying his best to deal with that double Greymane. The clone almost going down. Him getting hit by that Storm Bolt as Penguin does everything he can. One more hit to take out that Li Ming, but no, we do see a reset come in and keep him alive. Templar surviving with such little health, popping that on top of it the last minute. The teams continuing to fight and continuing to brawl 3v5, but it does look like Texas A&M comes out on top here.
That was the first big fight of the game in favor of Texas A&M. They found it before ReGen Black was level 16, and now there's 3 altars on the map. Bottoms should be secured by Texas A&M unless Penguin can get here in time. He's going to try to interrupt it. Sonic Arrow just a little bit too late. Muradin grabs it up top. Greymane picked up the one on the right-hand side, and this could be all 3 going over to Texas A&M. We'll see what can happen here. ReGen Black starting the channel up with Yrel. Sparky here on the Li Ming. There is no clone available from Abathur for just a few more minutes. Gatsby taking a lot of damage on Stukov. Temp, he's up front on the Johanna, and here comes the Dragon Blade. Genji trying to finish up Ozono. He does. Next is Edgardo GL and that Greymane. He falls a double so far for ReGen Black. Li Ming in the bush. He's hearthing and will get away. Hello, the only one still here, and he will end up being the triple kill for ReGen Black. Boss available right next to them, and they're going to go ahead and pick up 4 more shots here, Egg.
The discipline shown by ReGen Black in that team fight is exactly what I would expect to see from a high-level team. The backline was getting dove upon by that Muradin. They did take a lot of shots from Li Ming, but Genji and Hanzo and the Yrel, who in fact set up that first kill, were disciplined enough to see and notice that pressuring their backline and denying that damage was their key to victory. So although Texas A&M does take that bottom bell tower back, the victors of that team fight and of that boss are ReGen Black, and they are ahead by 23 points.
All right, so we see a couple camps being grabbed by ReGen Black. Got the Sapper in the bottom lane from their side. Up top, Yarel and Genji took away the Sappers there as well. But a lot of this damage from these Sappers is being negated by the Mule over time. Here you see the Mule being dropped in that top lane. Bun's trying to defend these Sappers as long as he can. Mizono showing up now on Samuro. Gonna make sure those don't run into that tower. So bottom side, knowing that Muradin, knowing that Samuro, they're both up top. ReGen Black pushing down this bell tower for the second time in this game. Don't have any minions, and here comes Sparky pushing forward. Wave of Force not gonna push Penguin in a good spot to get any more damage out. But they got a lot of damage on that bell tower there, Rag, and with a Sapper camp now spawning on this side of Texas A&M, we'll see what play happens here over it.
We do see a giant Dragon Arrow going out onto 2 members. Camille going into that backline, but getting instantly blown up by that Li Ming. Templar soaking up the entire damage there of the Li Ming reset. We do see the red team taking that camp, but ReGen is now on the retreat. That Li Ming taking out the Stukov. How many more kills are they going to get here? Greymane barely escaping, and Templar left out to fend for himself. He will probably go down with a juke there on that Stormbolt.
Yeah, Muradin's gonna say, all right, whatever. We don't need you. We want a double altar that has just spawned. Penguin, he's up here playing defense on the Hanzo. Yorel and Johanna making their way as well. There's no clone available for about 60 seconds because Avatar did pop it in that fight. Here comes Muradin trying to play defense. Can Hanzo interrupt? Yes, he can. Now Templard, he's here trying to shut down Greymane, but there he goes, pop and go for the throat, and Templar 500 health, getting a little bit of health back, but no, he's finally gonna go down. Yarel making it happen as well, and now Hanzo showing up. He has the Dragon's Arrow in just 4 seconds, might be able to pop it on one of these players. Hello, very low, will he make it out? Camille's not gonna let him go. Should have a Swift Strike. Does he need it? Muradin, hello? He's gonna make it back. But it is an altar picked up by ReGen Black there.
That's insane. We have 3 more shots going over. Excuse me, 3 shots left on the core of Texas A&M as a result of that. I think that Penguin must have done his math homework last night because his geometry this game is on point. We do see those 3 remaining Sappers appearing in that bot lane. Hanzo with that W build, shredding them like it's no one's business. We do see the Mule, however, healing up that bottom bell tower, but if these 3 Sappers make it in, that will be another bell tower going down, and that control would mean so much for ReGen Black as the next and potentially final altar will spawn, or excuse me, bell tower in that bot lane.
So Bun's getting harassed once again by Mizono playing that Samuro. But bottom lane, this is what ReGen Black's been trying to do all game, dominate this bottom lane. 3 Sappers walking down as this bell tower, it's sitting on a thread. If any of these Sappers run at it, it should be secure. There go one of them. They might need 2. There's a second one. Now barely any health alive. The Mule comes down just a little bit too late from Abathur, and that will be the bell tower secured by ReGen Black. Double altar phase spawning in 25 seconds.
As long as one of these altars is taken, that is all that ReGen Black needs to win this game. They are, in fact, level 20, so they could take a team fight here should they decide to, engage, even though they don't need to. We do see Urel engaging in on that Muradin who's in the front line. The team with the giant Dragon Blade onto that back line. The Dragon's Arrow hitting 4 members as the Samurai was the first to fall. The W on that Hanzo just shredding everything, and the infinite resets of the Genji just destroying the remainder of the team as Hanzo does go into that bot lane, and we see ReGen Black Murda taking game number 2 in a very dominant fashion.
Game number 2 secured for ReGen Black. Now will find themselves 1 win away from becoming the Heroic Division Grand Champions for NGS Season 5. Let's take a quick look at this match summary brought to you by Nexus Gaming Series. Huge damage from Hanzo. Penguin for the win. 6 kills, 54k damage. Fantastic job. I mentioned that someone's going to be playing Hanzo today, and that was the first look we got. Penguin showing what's up. We'll see if Edgardo GL can match them in Game 3 if they can get their hands on a Hanzo. Talents on your screen as we speak. Hold on. I got a question here from Hello as they're looking over the map. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to present to you the NGS Season 5 Heroic Division All-Stars. Hello, so funny. Here we go. For the tank position, it's Hollis from Pride Star Gaming taking the #1 spot. Denkstrom and Dragon King tying for second. They're from the Real Ultimate Mosh Pit and Get Stuffed. And a player we have here tonight, Sparky from Texas A&M, takes the #3 spot. For support, it's Texas A&M again. Space Bacon, such a supreme player here from outer space, and he's tasty like that good sweet pork pig. The Bacon Man, he's the #1 support. Richard Gear from Pride Star Gaming takes the #2 spot, and from ReGen Black, it's Gaspy. For the assassin role, we see Coca-Cola, now known as Hello, from Texas A&M, taking #1. Now, 2 players from ReGen Black, one tying for the #1 spot. That is Penguin for the win. You saw him there representing on Hanzo, and Love Not War, aka Camille, taking the #2 spot. They're from ReGen Black, and tying in that #2 spot, Siltreent from Offensive Gaming getting on the board. And from the solo lane position, John Knight from Get Stuffed, he takes the #1 spot. Mizono from Texas A&M at #2, and that's Tithel from Pride Star Gaming rounding it out. Those are your NGS Heroic Division Season 5 All-Stars.
That's awesome to see that so many of the players chosen in the All-Stars are in these games with us today, Murd. It's not too surprising either. Both teams in this past game in particular making so many plays and just turning the tide in what seemed to be impossible situations. So kudos to both teams, and kudos to all the members that made it onto this All-Stars roster. Congratulations.
Huge congratulations to everyone, and not only those who made the All-Star team, just a really big congratulations to every team in general. I mean, we had the biggest season to date in NGS this season, and just so many people coming out, supporting the league, and really showing how it's done at this amateur level, having a lot of fun, and, you know, that's really what it's all about. I'm really proud, you know, as the Storm Division moderator, I get to hang out with the Heroic Division people and chat all the time, and it's been a lot of fun. We've had our ups, we've certainly had our downs, but we made it here to the grand finals, and I'm really proud of everyone who participated this season.
I can't echo the sentiments of Murda enough. This series so far, this best of 5 between ReGen Black and Texas A&M, has been a pleasure to cast. Both teams showing that they deserve to be here, making awesome plays, intelligent drafts, and, you know, just kind of showing us what this game is all about. Teamwork, cooperation, and, you know, some sick plays every now and then. So we do see that map #3 is going to be Braxis Holdout, a map that we oftentimes see banned. I know that the objective itself, the beacons, were changed, and progress is taken away the moment an enemy actually steps on it now. So it does make the game sometimes go a little bit longer. It can also make the objective, the first one in particular, take significantly longer. So we'll see how this plays out, Murda.
And for me, this used to be one of my favorite maps. I know back in the day, Rag, when you and I played together on ReGen, this was a map that we had selected so often, had a good time on it. Now, I can't stand this map. I actually really hate it. I don't like the way the new capping system works. It just allows so much just like picky little play where you just hop on it for a second, walk right off, and then channel stops. It's kind of ridiculous. We'll see what happens though. I'm expecting some cheese this time. I think Texas A&M, they have something fancy up their sleeves right here. We'll see if they can pull it out, but they're down 2 games. We do have an R from I see it from Texas A&M. Did we get one from ReGen Black yet?
I don't believe I've seen one. There it is from Buns.
Okay. All right, so here we go. Game #3. Leading the set 2-0 is ReGen Black, looking to close it out and become the Heroic Division Grand Champions. Here we go, the draft on Braxis Holdout.
Braxis Holdout, as you mentioned, Murda, does still have a very special place in my heart. I don't care what the haters say. It's still one of my favorite maps, just because I will show people how to play Stukov here. One of my favorite heroes since Deckard came out. He tends to be more favorable here. You also sometimes see Alex Straza chosen on this map. as a support, given the fact that the globe generator on that top and bot lane makes you able to complete that W talent at once significantly faster. So we'll see what ReGen Black bans first. It is the same Maiev we've seen for the last 2 games.
Yeah, third time ReGen Black and to take away the Maiev. Their other ban has been Diablo in this top half. We'll see if they continue with that. Yrel, she was banned in game number 1, but game number 2 was picked up by ReGen Black. Bun's not going to be able to play Yrel here. And I think a map like this, Braxis Holdout, Yrel can really dominate that top lane and even knock people off of the capture point, the control point.
Absolutely, Murd. And I think that's also kind of a respect ban. Bun's just putting on a clinic on the Yrel and on the Sonya in the previous game as well. Just not allowing Li Ming to get a position well enough to combo those orbs and those magic missiles like she needed to. So I'm not surprised about that Yrel ban. And as you mentioned, she's incredible for sustaining in general and for zone control. Texas A&M deciding to ban out that Tychus. Cho'Gall question mark? I don't know. When I see a Tychus ban, that's kind of what I first think of.
Maybe a bit telegraphed if that indeed is the case. We'll see what ReGen Black wants to do, but there will be an opportunity to take it with the 1-2 selection here. So if ReGen Black doesn't take it themselves, they're going to be leaving it open, and we'll see what Texas A&M wants to do with those first 2 picks. But here we go. First selection, it's going to be Genji for ReGen Black.
Not too surprising. I think Anubarak may have been taken there. I think if in this 1-2 we see an Anubarak, then I'm a bit more worried for that Cho'Gall. But I think Cho'Gall makes the game interesting. I don't recommend you take him ever because you don't love your team if you do that. The next 2 picks going over in that 1-2, we do see Asmodan still up again. Surprised that he hasn't been taken, but these teams not really prioritizing him a whole lot. Whitemane's still up as well. I expect her to be taken.
There it is. Cho and Gall.
I think the 3-4 may have been a little bit better for that, but it would have seen another ban phase. So this does give ReGen Black ample time to find counters. Oftentimes you see things like Leoric, you see things like Karazim with 7-sided. Anubarak is still up. I expect that to be taken. Malthael, of course, is taken. And there we go, Murda. These 2 heroes alone will make that Cho'Gall's life a living hell, especially as they hit level 10.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Malthael is straight from the pits of hell, as he is the Reaper of Death. And of course, that percentage damage so effective on a big boy hero like Cho'Gall. We will see how that plays out as the map goes on, but as you mentioned, taking the Cho'Gall so early allows so much time for ReGen Black to look at heroes they want to counter Cho'Gall with. They start off with Malthael and Anubarak, but now they can ban out a hero. They have opportunity to do that, and they still have their 4-5 selection to make this an ultimate composition up against a Cho'Gall.
Absolutely, and I'm not sure what they ban here. It actually might be the Ana or the Ariel. I kind of like the Ariel ban a little bit more, just because that battery is pretty crushing. Okay, Ana, not too surprising. Her nano boost at level 10 will just take that Cho'Gall to another level. Even the Ana herself can be pressured pretty heavily by that Genji, so I do like that ban. What else is left here to enable that Cho'Gall? I do expect a support taken here to deny it from the side of ReGen Black, and maybe something else to sustain in that lane with them. Sometimes you see a Zarya or other weird things. We do see the Ariel and a variant taken for that solo lane in the top. Twin Blades, Wind Blades, Murda. Maybe?
So, Varian, I would expect the Twin Blade. It can be effective against Malthael. We'll see how that pays off for him. He will be able to sustain a little bit. But for that last pick, Texas A&M, Gul'dan maybe, something that can help control the lane a bit. Also another great battery for Ariel, who is selected as their support. But here we go, Greymane, Cursed Bullet, and Tyrande the support for ReGen Black.
Tyrande is an excellent pick because the kill potential that she gets with that Hunter's Mark at level 1, right? That's a 15 armor reduction on top of the burst and the stuns for that Greymane. So this Cho'Gall will have a little bit of a hard time dealing with this team comp. And again, at level 10, once that hits, the Cocoon comes out. The side of Texas A&M doesn't particularly have things in their repertoire to burn down that Cocoon particularly fast. So we'll see how they decide to deal with ReGen Black's composition. I like Black's composition here for pretty much a lot of different reasons. I think if Texas A&M can get an early game advantage, they might be able to snowball, but we'll have to see how ReGen Black reacts.
So, of course, Genji on Brax's holdout, so strong with his deflect, able to take away a boss here. We'll see if there's any control over that. But double support. Texas A&M picking the Karazim for Mizono, their solo lane player, there with that final pick. Interesting. I certainly haven't seen this. I thought the Samuro was something new I was going to see today, and now we're seeing the Karazim coming out from Mizono. They're really trying to pull everything they can out of their jacket pocket here. As we head into game number 3, it's match point for ReGen Black, and they're on the left-hand side in blue. Templar, the substitute, once again on a Nubarak tonight. Camille playing as Genji for the second time. Penguin for the win. We're going to see him on Genji. Gaspy playing Tyrande, and up in that top lane, solo lane, it's Buns on Malthael.
And on the right-hand side, we have, once again, Texas A&M, our red team, with Varian in that top lane, played by Edgardo GL. Karazim being played by Mizono. Space Bacon, the main support player, on the Ariel. And Spao, that being Sparky on the Cho, and Hello on the Gall.
Spow? Question. You had to say it like it's a question, right? Spow?
Spow? There we go. Fixed.
All right, so both teams kind of walking around in the jungle. No one really wanted to make the first move. This early game Cho'Gall, will it be a problem for ReGen Black? We'll find out. Up top, it will be Malthael up against the Varian and Gardo GL. Not typically a solo lane player, but today making his debut up here for Texas A&M.
We do see the Anubarak, the Greymane, and the Tyrande getting pushed in just a little bit, but as long as they don't lose, as I was mentioning, that early game advantage and don't give up too many kills, it should be mostly fine. In terms of talents, we do see High King's Quest taken by that Variant at level 1, which kind of tells me, Murder, that we will be seeing a Twin Blades.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what I expect. I think the Twin Blades actually does end up with an advantage up against Malthael. It can really stick to him, and it provides enough healing that maybe the Die Alone talent will not be able to finish him off. But first of all, could be Mizono. He's 100 health and does go down. That's going to be Tyrande getting the final shot in, and first blood will be handed over to ReGen Black.
Wonderful dive and the follow-up by Tyrande, getting that stun out and just pressuring the enemy team. Well done by ReGen Black, and if they can continue showing that level of prowess as the game continues, looking at them focusing on this camp as well, they should be able to continue forward and keep that Cho'Gall in check. Buns in that top lane dominating the Varian, getting the point, but we do see the Karazim forced to rotate top as ReGen Black does in fact push into that bot lane.
Yeah, Bun's going to start just backing up a bit. Still no level 4 for Varian, so he's only half of a hero. And, you know, looking at level 1, you got the Karazim on Iron Fist. This is an Iron Fist plus Twin Blades. I mean, this is exciting. There's a lot of damage that can come out from the melee form from these heroes.
This is damage heavy, but we do see the first progress for these beacons going over to the side of ReGen Black as the Cho'Gall starts pushing in the bot lane. Camille on the Genji, using that trade and hopping over. The Karazim getting hit by the stun. Templar going in, and once again, the Swift Strike going in onto that Karazim, going down. That's the second kill for ReGen as Cho'Gall takes so much damage, barely getting out. The Glenang cocktail missing ever so slightly, and ReGen keeping control of these beacons as the game continues. Yeah,
and Buns is dominating the top lane again. He's pushed the wall down. One of the towers is almost down as well. Finally, at level 4, we do see Twin Blades of Fury from Varian. Edgardo GL, he's ready to rip. He's ready to roll. He's going to jump right on top of Malthael right away. Cho'Gall up here as well. Camille trying to play defense on the beacon. Buns falling very low. Varian trying to finish the deal, but not quite able to. Camille and Buns are going to go ahead and use a well tap and try to get back on this point, but they're going to need some supporting from the rest of the members of ReGen Black. Down bottom is Tyrande and Nubarak. They're not even worried about it up here. Just going to play patient for the time being.
We do see a rotation going up by ReGen Black that should net a kill on the Varian. Well done by them as Anubarak is still in that bot lane, making sure that ReGen does in fact continue getting that soak. Excellent rotation as we do see an invade on that siege camp. The Karazim will scout this out as the Nubarak is getting pressured off that beacon by the Ariel and the Cho'Gall.
Yeah, I like this move by ReGen Black, knowing they had the kills, knowing that Cho'Gall is 2 bodies down in the bottom lane with Ariel. Nothing to be worried about taking that camp. Templar doing his best to hold this lane. We'll see if they want to make a rotation to help him out, because he's dealing with a Cho'Gall, and this is a monster. Quite literally, Cho'Gall is the biggest monster in the game. He will shred through this fort wall, and Templar's not nearly enough to keep it alive. So finally coming down, Malthael. Buns is here, scouted by that Eye of Kilrog. He's going to try to play a little bit of defender here along with Templar now on Cho'Gall.
We do see the Malthael rotating down that bot lane, the top fort being the first to fall. But that Cho'Gall being so much of a menace and doing so much damage to both of those team members, it does look like even though the wall fell on that bot lane, Buns almost falling down to 150 health by that runic bomb from the Cho. Ariel missing that whip, almost securing that kill, I think. The lane matchups are a bit different as we do see ReGen collapsing on the bottom.
Yeah, and Bun's gonna walk up to Gaspy and say, hey, give me a few of those heals, as Malthael took a ton of damage. But now beacon progress once again, ReGen Black, and it will be stopped at 96% on the top side by Mizono and Edgardo. But with this sort of pressure, level 7 talents, already a fort down up top, ReGen Black, they can just do what they want, and it's going to be walking on top of this enemy bruiser camp, it appears. Or do they want to rotate on top? Yeah, I think just take this bruiser, continue pushing, because they've been doing a great job in the siege department, having the Greymane, of course, enabled by a Nubarak and those beetles that he can drop down by the wall. Here they go, taking away a bruiser camp from Texas A&M.
Excellent play there on the macro. Camille taking a lot of damage though by that Cho'Gall, but the dive by the Anubarak catching out that Cho'Gall, and that will be the first kill on this Cho'Gall. Ariel not being able to sustain through that. The Karazim going down next, and that is ReGen Black taking the bruiser camp, taking that top beacon. Once again, Buns pushing off that variant, and double camp pushing in that bot lane. And this really tough murder, that Zerg wave will be pushing onto that keep wall in the top lane.
Yeah, not to mention, they have this Genji, and look what they're doing to this boss, ripping right through it. They secure it for the first time in this map. You have Zerg pushing up top, a full wave for ReGen Black. Bottom side, it's a boss with a bruiser camp here, and this is gonna be the fort, and a big threat onto this keep wall as the rest of Texas A&M is playing defense up against the Zerg in the top lane. Boss and 5 members of ReGen Black are in this bottom lane. This is almost it. Level 10's about to click in as well, Reg.
Murda, this is actually kind of terrifying. I do think that if ReGen with these level 10s can find kills on this enemy team and this keep is taken down, they might be able to go for game. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but if you look at the landscape, that is the keep starting to go down with the talent to your advantage. How does ReGen react here?
I like this positioning from Templar. We'll see who he wants to throw that Cocoon on if they start taking this fight. But so far, the focus is on Buns from Texas A&M. Cocoon goes down on Ariel. Buns here on this backside trying to maintain control of this backline. And it's Last Right securing the kill onto the Karazim. Variant falls as well. Spow playing Cho'Gall. He could be next. And ladies and gentlemen, with the boss still alive, Bruiser Camp still here, this looks like it's going to be game number 3 and a 3-0 sweep of the grand finals in favor of ReGen Black.
Who called it, Murda? That is a 7-minute and 42-second game by ReGen Black. Kudos to both teams there, but that's precisely how you shut down a Cho'Gall. You continue pressure on the map. This composition, especially with that Genji allowing you to do those quick rotations, they just did not let up. This was a 10-0 game in less than 8 minutes. So super kudos to the winners of the Nexus Gaming Series Heroic Division Grand Finals, ReGen Black.
Outstanding performance all season long by these two teams. They entered this grand finals as the number 1 and number 2 seeds, but 3-0 victory, did not end up losing a set the entire season, is ReGen Black. They did it without their captain Gofty tonight, bringing in the substitute, and just a lot of fun. I loved the last comp there from Texas A&M, trying to bring out a bit of joy here for all you Cho'Gall fans out there in chat. It doesn't end up paying the bills though, as ReGen Black takes it in 7 minutes and 42 seconds. We're gonna hop in for an interview with them right now. Give me just a minute to set this up, but Rag, any thoughts before we leave here in game number 3?
I thought that, again, both teams played phenomenally. I do like the fact that in game number 2 and game number 3, Texas A&M did try to shake things up. I think that with a little bit of better execution on their end and a bit better macro play, they could have come out on top in those games. The second game in particular was very impressive to me. Those team fights were incredibly close, and it honestly could have gone either way. So I love the series. ReGen Black played excellent, but so did Texas A&M. GG's to both teams.
All right, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
And
we got ReGen Black with us right now. Hey guys, outstanding set. Capping it off with a 7 minute and 42 second win on Braxis Holdout. Penguin, you were the captain today. How's it feeling right now?
Too much for words, you know?
All right, so, we had the number 1 seed facing off against the number 2 seed, ReGen Black versus Texas A&M. You guys brought us to Volskaya Foundry to start it off, and Penguin, I was talking to you during the pregame. You were a bit like, I don't know where we want to go. I'm not a drafter. How is it trying to navigate tonight without your captain and Ghosty and kind of taking over some of that role for the team?
Well, shout out to Camille, because most of it was just, hey, Camille, what do we do? And then he'd laugh, and yeah, he'd laugh like that, and then he'd tell us. So, I didn't do a whole lot. I just showed up for the coin flip, I banned, and I didn't do that super great. I missed a ban.
You did miss a ban. And hey, I love Camille. He's such a jovial guy. I got to tune in last night on his stream. Always having a good time. If you guys don't check him out, start checking him out. It's twitch.tv/Camille, I believe. Cameel. So tune in there.
Maybe a little dono to pick up that Cassia.
Hey.
We wanted to pick Cassia game 1, and I'm like, guys, I don't own it.
Oh, no, you hate to see it. So we saw a lot of focus during the bans tonight. Diablo and Maev, all 3 games were banned out. It's just, hey, we don't want to play against it. What's the deal there, guys?
Well,
it's mostly that.
Yeah, Maev is definitely ReGen Black's most hated hero, so we don't play with that. And then Diablo is just pretty good,
So tonight for this matchup, we had Templart coming in as the substitute, a last-minute substitute, as Corgi Booty was going to be the sub, came down with strep throat. Templart, you get thrown in as a coach from the ReGen family. How's it feel coming in? You haven't played all season long in NGS, and it's the Heroic Division Grand Finals. You're making your Season 5 debut.
Yeah, it was definitely an experience.
In terms of that experience, Templar, how did it feel? This is to ReGen Black.
No, I mean, it was good. Yeah, like you said, it was last minute. I didn't even know what role I was gonna play, but we figured it out.
Is Rag coming through for you guys, or is just me?
I don't hear
just
him.
you. I didn't hear Rag.
It's just you.
Oh, no one else can hear you, Rag.
Oh,
feels
rip?
bad.
That's super weird.
I see his
All right.
name flashing.
Well,
I see his name flashing.
We've been having weird issues with Rag today in chat, but I think we got it fixed on my end at least.
Wait, can you talk now, Rag?
Hello?
Yeah, he's flashing.
No, never mind.
Okay.
But yeah, I was very sad that they picked up Cho'Gall in that last game because I wanted to do the Huff Money special solo lane Garrosh build.
Yeah, so
And I wasn't able to.
let's talk
You
a
had
bit
some big
about this. We saw it come out over the weekend in HGC Finals. The Anubarak as a tank, and you guys played it twice tonight. In both games, it looked really solid, but it's able to activate some of this push you're putting on these structures. Was this the game plan going in, or just so happened that Anubarak was the play today? What was the thought there?
I think it's mostly just like a nice little bonus. We draft it for like the lockdown and cocoon.
Yeah, he brings a lot of stuff.
And
Yeah,
it just like happens to enable good siege.
It's a big counter. Well, in my experience, it's a big counter to white main because white main is so reliant on like using her ult and saving her team. But if you cocoon that, then their team has nothing. And the siege was a bonus, but it was mostly for the lockdown with Turan because every time we picked up a noob, we picked up Turan.
Rag, you want to
guys
try
hear me
talking
now?
one more time?
Hello.
Yeah, I heard him.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay, there we go.
So awesome. Congratulations to you guys. Definitely dominant series. So the first question I kind of had is to you, Camille. I noticed that you did have a sub player today. How did it feel playing with a clearly not as performant person on your tank, and you flexing over to damage?
Well, generally in Hero League, I play whatever the team, well, whatever's missing. I literally look at everyone's profile. I'm like, okay, we have no supporters this game. I'm playing support. Okay, we have no tanks this game. I'm playing tank. Okay, we don't have a flex player. We only have range DPS. I'll be the flex. But no, there was like a few times I'd ask him to do something. It was done, and mechanically he played okay, so it went really well.
Nice. Yeah, and I think Templar Nubarak's actually one of my favorites. I've had the pleasure of playing with him in previous competitive seasons. And Temp, can you talk to me a bit about the Anubarak itself? And you guys, I think in the first game, actually, I thought the follow-up combos between the Tehran and the Anub were pretty much spot on.
Yeah, I mean, ideally there would have been a little more like just finding picks and stuff, but we're not super familiar with each other, so we didn't like necessarily create a lot, but tried to follow up, and I think we did a pretty good job. So
nice. And how did the sort of last question that I have is regarding that last game? The Cho'Gall was kind of taken in the 1-2, which Murda and I thought was a little odd. I kind of predicted a potential Cho'Gall, as you know that I normally do, especially with the Tychus ban. You guys had pretty much a plethora of things to pick from at that point to counter it. So how did you guys kind of react to that, and why did you pick the heroes that you did?
Well, the second we saw the Tychus ban, we're like, okay, they're gonna cheese Cho'Gall this game. And I'm like, just first pick Genji, it's his best map. And after that, we saw the Cho'Gall, we're like, okay, classic Anubarak, then Greymane Maltael combo of percent HP that just kills him. And they'll probably go like double support or AL or something, and that happened. But we just had such an early game dominance because they've made so many mistakes in the past games, and that makes it easier for us to get an early game lead. That I wasn't too worried, to be honest.
we found a lot of picks.
Yeah, I think.
It.
Yeah, and I think one thing I mentioned in the cast was that's definitely one way to shut down that Cho'Gall. Just, well, first of all, not letting them get to 10, that definitely helps. But you guys definitely invaded a lot of their camps and just kept the macro pressure up too. I think that Buns did an excellent job in the first two games in particular into the solo lane, and even against that Twin Blades variant in the top lane, he was really dominant. So super kudos to the solo laner there, just being able to carry his weight and win those matchups in all three games.
Thanks.
Yeah, I was really mad because I wanted to pull out the Garo solo lane that game, but with Cho'Gall I can't do that.
So I thought for me a lot of fun was getting to see the Stukov come out today in game number 2 on Towers of Doom from Gaspy. Gaspy, you played a couple Tirana maps, you played the Stukov. How does it feel playing support for ReGen Black all season long and getting yourself on that all-star ballot and bringing one home there for ReGen Black?
I like it a lot. I feel like I have a lot of opportunities to play a lot of different support. Like I like that I'm able to pull out the Stukov fairly often. Tyrande is one of my favorite supports just in general. I'm glad that she is in the meta recently. She provides a lot of follow-up for a lot of the comps that we plan.
Yeah, it seemed like the follow-up with limited practice, if any at all, between this 5 that played tonight was really on point. And I think a lot of that, especially the virulent reaction from Stukov we saw late game locking in a Muradin, kind of sealed the deal for you guys on Towers of Doom. But just a lot of like fantastic synergy. It seemed like you guys were on the same page from the start of this set tonight.
Yeah, well, we're used to like playing together other than like Templar, but the tank is usually the one who does things first, and then I usually see it and I say, okay, let's just go for this guy. And
yeah,
if we're all just on the same target, it's easy to get kills.
Camille played damage for us for 90% of the season, so having him back on that position wasn't any issue for us.
Yeah,
because we've already had plenty of practice there.
And plus there's good target calls, so everybody just had to be aware.
So
yeah, we grew a lot as a team this season, and with the shot calling and communication, I feel like everything is. We have such a good baseline now that bringing in a sub like that isn't very much of an issue.
And, you know, as the founder of ReGen, I'm really proud to see how much you guys came together this season. Started out as a brand new roster, made it all the way here to the end as the Heroic Division Grand Champions. For me personally, as Murda, your founder, I'm very proud of you guys. Great job. You took down a very tough team in Texas A&M tonight. You know, huge congratulations from me and the rest of the ReGen family.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Before we let you guys go, we're going to go down one at a time. If you guys have any shout-outs, we'll start at the top here in this channel. I see Buns. You have any shout-outs, Buns?
Is he actually going to respond? Oh, snap.
Just my teammates and Gofty for being entertaining and leading us here. Fun times. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. So those are my shout-outs. Just my teammates and you.
Appreciate it. Camille, you got anything?
Shout outs to everyone who tunes into my stream. I love you all. Shout outs to people who watch the game. I love you all. Shout outs to Texas A&M. Well played. It was a fun series. I wanted to play like a last one because I really want to show the world the Huff Money Garrosh solo lane, but another time. Go into my stream. I have a clip of me 1v1ing Lutano as Tracer. Go watch it. It's amazing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Shout out to the casters. Thank you guys. It was lovely. And to the team, to my boys,
All right, Gatsby, you're up next.
and my friends and family that are watching.
Shout out to Templart for coming through and subbing for us in the last minute.
Thanks.
Very much. Shout out to Red, being our manager, scheduling everything for us, helping us find.
Cheer for Red.
Setting up all these
Big
matches.
cheers for Red.
Yeah, Red, if you guys don't know in
half
chat,
this stuff
she's
without her.
the manager for ReGen, stepped in, did a huge job helping set up scrims for not just ReGen Black, but the rest of the ReGen family, setting up the NGS matches. Huge job. Huge thanks to Red for being a part of the team.
Yeah, she took a lot of the work for the team and just put it on her back.
Yeah.
Carried us home.
True.
Penguin, any shout-outs?
Shout outs to all the people in chat today who showed up to watch ReGen. They saw HGC on the launcher and they said, no, I need to see how my boys in ReGen Black are doing. Shout out to you guys. Love the team. You know, shout outs to Red and Murda and everyone who helped us. Shout out to Corgi Booty, who was originally going to sub for us, but was unfortunately out sick. He got better. And thank you for Templart for stepping in, of course.
Sure.
And Temp, hey, you made it all the way here, finally getting a chance to play with the big boys in the Heroic Division. Any shout-outs?
You know, shout out to these guys. Obviously, made my my job as a sub easy. Shout out to NGS for you know, making this possible for me to sub. I don't know. That's about it.
Well, once again, huge congratulations to ReGen Black, your Season 5 Nexus Gaming Series Heroic Division Grand Champions. Hope to see you guys play again soon, guys. I'm, again, really proud of the efforts put in all season, and fantastic work tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, we went through 4 rounds, 8 total weeks of Nexus Gaming Series. Then we had 4 weeks of playoffs. We're finally here at the final moment of Season 5 Ragnarok. Anything you have to say before we head off for the season? NGS related, Ragnarok related, the floor is yours, my man.
I think it's been a wild ride. I took a break from competitive just to focus on coaching, and I think that's been a really rewarding experience. And I want to thank you, Murda. I mean, I've known you for almost 2 years now. I'm going to BlizzCon with you this upcoming week. So I think it was almost ceremonious in a way to get a chance and a privilege to cast with you the sort of end of the Nexus Gaming series and this awesome series. So big shout outs to you for your hard work in enabling this. And this was also my first season casting. I've fallen in love with it, and I definitely want to do more in the future through NGS and everywhere. So you guys can catch me on twitch.tv/Ragnarok, 2 N's and 2 R's. Same thing on Twitter, but it's been a pleasure. Murda?
So, guys, we're right now on twitch.tv/Nexus Gaming Series. Make sure you join us right back here tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific for the October Mead Hall. There's a lot of cool information, some cool announcements, and we're going to honor all our champions. We have them all in the books, and it's time to recognize everyone for their hard work all season long. So make sure you stop in for that Mead Hall tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Season 5 is coming to a close. Make sure you stop back in late January. We're going to have those signups ready for Season 6. And then early February, Season 6 Nexus Gaming Series will be ready to go. I'm really excited to be back as part of the NGS fam. Going to be really excited to see some of your teams play. So make sure you sign up. Make sure you stay active in the offseason. A lot of stuff going on. Some new North American leagues popping up. We encourage you to check them out and have some fun. Remain as a team. Fall in love with Heroes of the Storm. That's really what it's about. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm Murda. That's Rag over there. And we'll see you guys in the Nexus. Peace.